It's Friday, October 18. This is the news on PBCJ. I'm Carol Francis. Minister of Tourism Edmund Bartlett is urging all employers in the sector to participate in the Tourism Workers Pension Scheme, which is slated to become operational early next year. Approximately 350,000 full-time, part-time, self-employed and contract workers across the tourism sector will benefit from the contributory scheme. The Tourism Workers Pension Scheme is also designed to cover all workers within the sector aged 18 to 59 years. Speaking at the graduation ceremony of the Jamaica Center of Tourism Innovation, Minister Bartlett said the pension scheme represents the final prong in the government's commitment to human capital development. He noted that the Board of Trustees established will review the regulations required to make the pension scheme operational. The first of 5 artisan villages showcasing authentic Jamaican art and craft is slated to open by the end of the year. Located at the Hamden Wharf in Falmouth, the project features an extension of the port, landscaped areas, storyboards where applicable, reuse of historic buildings, restaurants, and an entertainment center. The Hamden Wharf Development Project is a collaborative effort between the Port Authority of Jamaica and the Urban Development Corporation. Renowned Jamaican scientist Professor Gerald Layla heads the list of Jamaicans who will receive national honors and awards for service to country at the annual ceremony on National Heroes Day, Monday, October 21. Professor Layla is to receive the 3rd highest national honor, the Order of Merit, for his contribution to local and international development in science, technology and innovation and service across the private and public sectors. Among the 5 recipients of the Order of Jamaica, the 5th highest national honor, are Dr. Julius Garvey, son of Jamaica's first national hero, Marcus Mosiah Garvey, for his distinguished contribution in universal civil activism. Jamaica Broilers Group Chairman Robert Levy is to be awarded for outstanding service in agriculture and philanthropy. Alpha Rita Marley is being recognized for her contribution to the popularization of Jamaican music. 39 Jamaicans are to be awarded for their contribution to nation building with the Order of Distinction in the rank of Commander. Among the 39 persons to receive the Order of Distinction in the rank of officer are television, stage, and film actor Glenn Titus Campbell for his more than 38 years of outstanding contribution to local theatre and mentoring. PBCJ will have live coverage of the National Honors and Awards ceremony beginning at 8:45 on the morning of Monday, October 21. There will be traffic restrictions for sections of Camp Road in Kingston over the Heroes Day weekend to facilitate pipe lane works. NAA Communications Manager Stephen Shaw said the restrictions will come into effect on Saturday, October 19. Beginning at 8 in the morning, the Camp Road-Arnold Road intersection will be closed to vehicular traffic up to 6 in the evening to facilitate the installation of sewer manholes. Motorists wanting to access Arnold Road from the direction of Tom Redcombe Drive will do so using Maruska Road and Connolly Avenue. Arnold Road can be accessed via Hope Street, Anderson and James Road from the direction of South Camp Road. The NAA added that the section of Camp Road between the JDF Cotton Tree Gate and Arnold Road will be closed to vehicular traffic on Sunday, October 20 and Monday, October 21 between the hours of 6 and 6 to facilitate the connection of fire hydrants to the newly installed water main. Residents in Chesterfield in St. Mary have renewed faith in the government with the construction and official opening of a new bridge in the community.
I want the people to have faith in what their government tells them. I want to build the trust, because building the trust makes it easier for the governance of the country. So once I made the commitment, I was able to say to the lady, all right, the next time that you see me is when I'm crossing that bridge.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness became aware of the need for a bridge in the community in 2017. The bridge, which took 14 months to complete, has boosted the fortunes of the residents of Chesterfield and adjoining communities.
Sometimes the man them have to help me to cross the water because we cannot manage it. And when we go and buy up our little food, and sometimes when we are coming on deal with the little food all roll along the gully. And we are going at the mud, Mr. Prime Minister. And we glad today and tonight and for the rest of our life. River can't always come down now. Yeah. Yeah.
The bridge is one of 7 sourced under the Major Infrastructure Development Program. The 2-span compact 200 bridge is approximately 180 feet long. Though built mainly for the purposes of pedestrians, it can also accommodate small cars.
There are other bridges now that are being installed. You would have heard about Barracks River under the same program. We are doing another bridge, let me tell you. Tranquility in Portland is also being done. And the Mahogany Vale Bridge in St. Thomas, that is also being done. 2 other bridges are going to be done, and that will be funded out of the government's budget.
In his address to residents, Mr. Holness underscored the importance of communities being developed in a structured way.
I have to say it right here in Chesterfield. Jamaica cannot continue to develop where communities are just emerging. And then the government discovers them, and then the government has to bring infrastructure to their doorstep. That can't be the way. The new model of development is that government has to plan and approve all communities that are going to be developed. Let me put it to you this way. If every year 10 new communities develop, that requires 10 new bridges. I have to bring water to them, electricity, telecommunications, security, health, education. How will the government plan its budget? In other words, because communities have just emerged over the last 100 years without any planning, we are now trying to catch up. And the infrastructure that was there wasn't planned for those communities. So government has to do 2 things. Government has a duty and responsibility to you, the people of Chesterfield who developed your own communities. We have to help you to regularize, to make you be connected into the formal infrastructure, because you are citizens of Jamaica, taxpayers of Jamaica. But government also has a duty to look each and every one of you in the face, even if you're going vex, and say to you that that kind of development cannot continue. It doesn't serve us well, and it cannot carry us into the future to be a modern, developed society.
You can enjoy signature dishes representing the best of African cuisine at Cafe Africa. Emphasis is placed on local ingredients, diversity of cooking styles, and preparation techniques. More in this week's Culinary Trails with Simone Absalom.
Welcome to another episode of Culinary Trails. I'm Simone Absalom. In this episode, we'll be going back to our roots, going back to menus from the motherland. Welcome to Cafe Africa.
Cafe Africa is open daily. We really are open by reservation. We're an RSVP only restaurant, whether you're calling for a catering or whether you want to come in and dine.
You're not really usually known as a restaurateur. You're known for your activism for black people. You're known as the president of the UNIA.
Cafe Africa was established by the Kingston Division of the Universal Negro Improvement Association. Of course, that's the organization that was founded by Marcus Garvey in Jamaica in July of 1914. So, you know, we operate out of a property that was formerly the personal offices of Marcus Garvey right here at 2 Trafalgar Road. A lot of people don't know the reason the bust of him is in the yard is because he once owned the property. So it really wasn't my personal initiative, but rather, you know, for many years we've been involved in rebuilding the Universal Negro Improvement Association in Jamaica. And of course, in its heyday, when Garvey was our President General, the UNIA operated several businesses under their corporate banner, the African Communities League. This included restaurants, grocery stores, hotels, schools, farms, and eventually the infamous Black Star Line, which coincidentally this year, 2019, marks the centenary, the 100-year anniversary of the incorporation of the Black Star Line. But before the Black Star Line, there was the Universal Restaurant Garvey opened in Harlem, New York. So we came with Universal Africa Restaurants, which is the holding company, but we operate under the banner of Cafe Africa. So what we've done is chosen, you know, dishes that we think will resonate with the Jamaican palate, recognizing the fact that our own cuisine is African-based because we are a people majority African descendant. So we're up to now 27 countries, that's half the continent. So we do dishes from places like Egypt and Morocco in the north, to Kenya, Tanzania in the east, Mozambique, South Africa in the south. We do dishes from Congo, Central African Republic in the center, and of course Nigeria, Gambia, Senegal in the west, you know. So I'm not sure I named all 27 there, but last count was we had at least one dish from 27 countries in Africa.
I see you have some utensils here. You were telling me a bit about them. How do you incorporate that in the experience?
Well, we wash everybody's hands before they eat, and primarily because a lot of our dishes, patrons may choose to eat with fufu, or they may choose to eat with ugali, or they may choose to eat with milipap, or they may choose to eat with sadza. What am I talking about? Those are regional names basically for the same sort of starchy product, whether made from plantain or cassava or yam. It's pounded down, then rehydrated in water and made into like a soft dumpling. But you don't use knife and fork. You break it with your hand, you dip it in your stew, and you savor it. So much as you may go to a Chinese restaurant or a Japanese restaurant and like to use chopsticks, we like to give you an authentic feel here. So if you're going to be ordering fufu, you're going to be eating with your hands. I'm going to be giving you samples of at least one dish from each region. So I'm going to give you something from the south, I'm going to give you something from the east, I'm going to give you something from the west, maybe something from the north. So you'll be trying two different types of rices, East African, West African. You'll be having a mchicha, which is from Tanzania, with a little fufu, which is from West Africa. That's the one you eat with your fingers. And I'm also going to be featuring bubuti, which is the national dish of South Africa, and a little chicken domoda being the national dish of Gambia. So I'm taking you all over the continent, and we're going to be stopping in on about a half dozen countries today.
All right, well, I can't wait to taste it. Sounds delicious.
We go to news from the region. In Trinidad, the main United National Congress is calling on the Electoral and Boundaries Commission to probe almost 1,700 inconsistencies and anomalies in 4 marginal constituencies. The details in this report from CNC3's Jesse Ramdio.
In an official statement, the UNC says it had been conducting its own house-to-house examination of the list of registered voters in each constituency, meeting each voter in person. According to the party's release, during the 4-year exercise, they discovered 1,684 inconsistencies and anomalies within the St. Joseph, Tunapuna, Moruga Tableland, and La Hokata Talparo constituencies. Quote, persons appearing on the list of registered voters were determined as not residing at the given voter address and/or having no historical links to the area. The release goes on to say that despite bringing the inconsistencies to the EBC's attention, the UNC is yet to receive an acknowledgement of its correspondence. The UNC says in light of the local government election carded for Monday, December 2nd, the EBC must carry out a probe into the abnormalities identified. The party is calling for a meeting with the EBC to deal with this and other issues.
In the Bahamas, some residents feel the UN agency's call to let illegal immigrants remain after the passage of Hurricane Dorian is out of order. The issue took center stage during a recent sitting of the Bahamas Parliament.
The debate on illegal migrants continue following Hurricane Dorian. There has been mixed views on the stance government should take on the undocumented. Outspoken Member of Parliament for the Pine Ridge constituency, Frederick McAlpine, said calls to have them remain in the country should be ignored.
And anyone who loves others more than us or wants us to love others more than us is not worthy to be amongst us. My mantra as a Bahamian is Bahamians first. And I mean that in every sense of the word and without any apology.
As for those work permit holders who became unemployed as a result of Dorian and lost everything in the storm, McAlpine said the law must prevail.
The Bahamas is overwhelmed at this time. We are in a state of emergency, and Bahamians are our top priority.
McAlpine also took issue with the disaster relief bill currently being debated, lamenting that before such laws are implemented, he suggests that government ensure that shelters are up to code.
Mr. Speaker, if I have to make a choice between dying at home or dying in a shelter, which one you think I'll choose? Many of the places being used as hurricane shelters are not structurally sound, nor are they elevated to be free from flooding. Mama says you're putting the cart before the horse. Mr. Speaker, it makes no logical sense for me demanding mandatory evacuation without having a safe place to put the evacuees. Mr. Speaker, there's no rocket science for this. This is common sense.
In sports, Brian Charles Lara will be among over 100 other cricket legends who will suit up for a T20 series promoting road safety in India. We have more in this report.
Sachin Tendulkar, Brian Lara of Virender Sehwag, and Muttiah Muralitharan are among the big names to feature in a T20 tournament aimed at promoting road safety. This tournament is called the Road Safety World Series. Some other prominent names that are set to be part of the tournament include Jack Callis, Brett Lee, and Shivnarine Chanderpaul. According to ESPN Cricinfo, the first season of the tournament will be played in 2020 between February 2 and 16 in Mumbai and will feature the following teams: India legends, Australia legends, South Africa legends, Sri Lanka legends, and West Indies legends. It is understood that a total of 110 players, all retired, have confirmed their participation in the tournament, which would be based on the franchise model prevailing across domestic T20 league around the world. The participating teams have been restricted to only test playing countries for the first season. Tendulkar will be returning to play cricket in front of a crowd for the third time since his retirement in 2013.
And that's our package. Remember to join PBCJ on Heroes Day, Monday, October 21 at 8:45 in the morning for live coverage of the National Honors and Awards Ceremony from King's House. I'm Carol Francis. Please enjoy your weekend.